Hi, once again welcome back to Obstetrics and Gynecology videos. Today we are going to see about infections that can occur during the pregnancy. The infections can be a bacterial infection, or it may be a viral infection, or it can be a fungal infection, or it can be a parasitic or protozoal infestation. So first let us see about the bacterial infection. Among the bacterial infection, first we are going to see about group B streptococcal infection, that is GBS. The causative organism is group B streptococcus, mainly the Streptococcus agalactiae. The risk factors for the early onset of neonatal group B streptococcus include, that is, in these conditions, the baby also will get the group B streptococcus infection. That is, if the positive prenatal culture of GBS this pregnancy, that is, if the mother is having the prenatal culture of group B streptococcus is there, or if there is a preterm birth of the baby, that is, if the birth of the baby is occurring less than 37 weeks of gestation, you can suspect the GBS. And if there is a history of premature rupture of the membrane for longer than 18 hours, and if the mother is having fever, that is intrapartum maternal fever greater than 38 degrees centigrade. So these are the risk factors for the group B streptococcus infection for the baby. Screening of GBS. It is better to do the screening of all ladies between 35 to 36 weeks of gestation in order to identify the presence of GBS. So for that we can take the vaginal swab and we can send it for the culture. Next is the management. In case of preterm labor, that is in case of labor before 37 weeks of gestation, and if the duration of ruptured membrane is more than 18 hours, and if the mother is having temperature during the intrapartum period more than 100.4 degree Fahrenheit, in that case prophylactically we should start the antimicrobial agents. So we can start penicillin G, ampicillin or cefazolin for the patients. Next condition is tuberculosis in pregnancy. The risk factors for tuberculosis include positive family history or past history, low socioeconomic status, area with a high prevalence of tuberculosis, HIV infection, alcohol addiction, intravenous drug abuses. The clinical features during pregnancy include cough, weight loss, sweating during the night time, evening pyrexia, malaise, fatigue, enlarged lymph nodes, and sometimes pleural rump also will be there. And for the diagnosis, we can perform the tuberculin skin test, that is Mandrake's test, or you can take the X-ray test. Otherwise, you can take the early morning sputum and you can do the acid fast staining for detecting the presence of bacilli. We can use the secretions of gastric bushings for identifying the organism. Otherwise, we can perform the diagnostic bronchoscopy. And usually the extrapulmonary sites, that is lymph nodes, bones, all those things are rare during the pregnancy. And effect of pregnancy on tuberculosis. Actually, the pregnancy does not worsen the clinical course of tuberculosis. And effect of TB on pregnancy. In the ladies or among the ladies, those who are having tuberculosis, the fertility rate is very low. There is a higher incidence of toxemia, preterm labor, postpartum hemorrhage. There is a chance for difficult labor, especially if the patients are suffering with the TB already if they are having, because usually the mothers will be weak and they may not be having the capacity to cope with the uterine contractions. The maternal and fetal prognosis is good and therapeutic abortion is not necessary except in a patient with multi-drug resistance. That is, if the person is having multi-drug resistance, in that case you should go for the abortion. Otherwise, we can continue the pregnancy safely. In case of mothers also having drug resistance, and those ladies, if they become pregnant, that may worsen the condition of the mother. Otherwise, we can continue the pregnancy. It won't produce much complications for the mother. Next, we can see the effect on the fetus. Effective chemotherapy has reduced the incidence of low birth weight, but if we are using streptomycin for the treatment of tuberculosis, it may produce congenital deafness. And for the treatment, we are using rifampicin, isoniazid, ethambutol, pyrazinamide, and other antitubercular drugs also can be included, that include clofazimine, ciprofloxacin, ofloxacin, amikacin, clarithromycin, and azithromycin that also can be given. And the obstetrical management during the pregnancy, we should advise the mother to take high protein diet and high calorie diet, and at the same time we should advise her to stick on the drug regimen. She should take it continuously and she is not supposed to withdraw the drug. And during the process of labor also, we know that the lady may not be having the proper capacity, she may be having the weakness, so you can go for the assisted delivery, you can go for the operative delivery also. And breastfeeding can be continued, because if the mother is not having much problem and if the mother is not having drug resistant tuberculosis, we can continue the breastfeeding. And we should advise the mother to take the contraception, especially for increasing the gap between the next pregnancy. Next condition is bacterial vaginosis. The organisms which are producing bacterial vaginosis include Gardnerella vaginalis, Mycoplasma hominis, Prevotella, and Atopobium vaginae. The transmission can occur due to the sexual intercourse, or can be due to hormonal changes, or due to the pregnancy, or sometimes due to the antibiotic administration, continuous administration of antibiotics, or the use of nonoxynol 9, or if the ladies are using spermicidal products, or if they are doing douching. Through this way, it can get transmitted, or the ladies may get infection. The signs and symptoms include thin, grey or white homogeneous vaginal discharge, increased vaginal discharge, that is, the amount of discharge will increase and the odor will become fishy, especially after the intercourse, and the pH of the vagina will become alkaline, that is, it will be more than 4.5, and bacterial vaginosis does not cause vaginal itching or dysuria. And the treatment, in the case of symptomatic cases, we can give metronidazole or flagyl 500 mg orally twice daily for 7 days. And in the case of asymptomatic pregnant patients with antibiotics for bacterial vaginosis to prevent the preterm labor. They also should be treated with antibiotics in order to prevent the preterm labor. And we can see the effect on pregnancy and on the outcome. It may produce spontaneous abortion. It may produce premature rupture of the membranes and preterm labor, and there is a chance for chorioamnionitis and postpartum endometritis, and it may produce neonatal septicemia also. Next condition is leprosy or Hansen's disease in pregnancy. The causative organism is Mycobacterium leprae, and with established leprosy, there is a chance for exacerbation of lesions during pregnancy. That is, already if the mother is having leprosy during the pregnancy or because of the pregnancy, sometimes the lesions may increase. And anyway, whether it is increasing or decreasing, immediately after the delivery, the baby should be separated from the infected mother. And when the disease becomes quiescent, or when it is becoming non-infectious, the baby can be given back to the mother. And the drugs which we are using for the treatment include dapsone and clofazimine, and these two drugs are safe during the pregnancy. Next, we can see the nursing management of these infections. First, we should see the nursing diagnosis. Acute pain related to excoriation from scratching, pruritic areas, ulcerations, etc. Impaired skin integrity related to presence of skin infections. Risk for complication, IUGR, spontaneous abortion, premature rupture of the membrane, preterm labor, and fetal death related to the presence of sexually transmitted diseases or other infections. Risk for fetal or neonatal infections, fetal malformations, and anomalies related to the complications. It can be TORCH or STD or even bacterial vaginosis or other bacterial infections. sexual dysfunction or ineffective sexuality patterns related to perineal discomfort and prescribed abstinence during treatment, self-esteem disturbance related to the diagnosis of these type of diseases. If it is a sexually transmitted disease, means because of the sexually transmitted disease, ineffective coping pattern related to the diagnosis of diseases, knowledge deficit related to disease condition, mode of transmission, fetal outcome, possible treatment opportunities, etc. Fear and anxiety related to the possible fetal outcome secondary to the infections. So these are the main bacterial infections that can occur during the pregnancy. Thank you for watching this video. See you soon with other few more bacterial infections.